Wow, I can't see anything. Alright, my name is Mariana Brito and I'm originally from Tijuana, Mexico. I grew up in Tijuana. I grew up with my grandmother, and she passed away this year in March, and she's been the mother to get me to this day in our third month of Malinche food truck. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story behind the truck and how it all started. I came to Saskatchewan 7 years ago for the first time. I took a leap of faith. After culinary school, I was cooking at a cancer clinic in Mexico, and a couple from Regina came down there to get treatment and invited me to come back with them and cook for them for a summer. So I had nothing to lose, and I was waiting to go to Spain to do a pastry school. So I was like, well, maybe I can go for the summer. And came to Regina and literally loved it. I had so much fun that summer. I don't know, like I got to bike. Like in Tijuana, it's all like uphill or downhill. It's like a huge bike. So if you want to bike anywhere, you have to be okay doing uphill a lot. So it just never worked out. And here I can bike, and it's like so nice. And I know there's other cities in Canada that you can bike, like there's better. I know that, but seriously, Regina has that, you know, you can go from one end to the city to another, and probably you don't want to go to all of the ends of the city, but in a very short period of time, and I love it. I love that summer. I left and then I came back. I came back a year later with some pastry experience and got a job at Le Macaron in the East End, where I was making macarons for 2.5 years until I got my permanent residence, and I was able to be like, okay, I went to cooking school. I used to cook really healthy food for people that are like suffering cancer, or like, so I was trying to just put together all these things and find a way to just start cooking again. I wanted to cook again, and I wanted to just keep doing that. I didn't want to do pastry anymore, and I mean, I love doing desserts, but cooking is really my passion. So I left the MAC and had the opportunity to join Schoolhouse as a lead instructor, and I hadn't cooked for a while before that, like for a while, so it was a big challenge, and I was the only instructor there for 8 months, and I met a lot of people and really got to know people in Regina that wanted to learn how to cook, and just inspired me. Amy, as an owner of Tangerine, inspired me to start my own business and to just go for it. So, you know, when you're following a passion or you want to get better at something, I find the best way to do it is learning from the best. Like, you have to look around you. And maybe in Regina, it's small in that way, but I had clear that the best restaurant was Crave. So I decided to go there and work, and I was like, I'm gonna stay here until I can do the line, like the hot pans by myself. And I remember that Valentine's Day, it was horrible. Like, everybody was ordering, there was 2 dishes, one for men and one for women. And everybody was like, all people were just going for the ravioli, and I was just putting out these raviolis, and it was just crazy. And I was like, I just want to be doing tacos, not raviolis. So cooked at Crave, then I've done a bunch of internships in different places in the world. Last year I went to the most sustainable restaurant in the world, well, one of the most sustainable restaurants in the world in Copenhagen. And I spent a month there just with my head down and learning how to pick herbs, like going back to square one, working 16, 18-hour days, but it was so amazing and so refreshing. And 2 years ago, maybe 3, we started this thing called The Backyard. And I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it was just, okay, I wanted to cook for friends or for people that wanted to come eat. And yeah, I totally forgot about this, but sorry. Yes, The Backyard. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yes. Well, before this, I met Kieran, my husband, and he's back here. I can't see them, but I met him here, and that's probably one of the reasons why I decided to stay in Regina, and no pressure for him. I always bring this up, but I stayed in Regina and I wanted to start a restaurant. And I thought, the first year I was like, sure, we'll open a restaurant in no time. I was so confident. I was just like, if you want to do it, whatever you can dream, you can achieve, right? Like whatever you want, you'll get it. I just didn't really know that things take a long time, especially like big dreams. They take a hell of a lot of time. And every day you wake up being like, okay, is this what I'm gonna, like, how am I gonna get there? How can the day to day, right? Like I tell my partner in business medicine and my husband, I tell him like, big picture, let's think about the big picture, that beautiful restaurant in the middle of the valley where people will come for tasting menus and they'll be happy to have wine pairings and we'll walk them through our farm, and big picture. And that might not take like more or less 5-10 years. We're in Regina, right? So it's like big picture. We're doing tacos. We are opening a food truck, and that's how we're gonna get there. So we launched a Kickstarter campaign for this food truck, and we did that in March this year. And within 2 weeks, we reached over $20,000, and that was so when people reach out to me and ask me about Kickstarter, I always say, well, it's not just me. Like, it took so many connections, farmers, a photographer, like collaboration, work every day. And we built a brand with the backyard, going back to these 4-course tasting menus that would be in a church or in a community hall or in the middle of nowhere in a farm where we didn't know where we were going, and 30 people were showing up for this 4-course dinner. And we just did it for 2 years, and it was crazy. And we're actually doing a dinner next week, and it's sold out in 4 hours. It's amazing. So with the backyard and Malinche, all we're trying to do is good food. Like, honestly, all I want to offer is, healthier food. We work with mostly organic, local producers, and organic, why? Because it's just healthier for us. And the way it's produced, we try to support the producers and really create a network so that Saskatchewan really can shine. And right now, for example, with Malinche, it's just tacos, sure, but we make our tortillas all by hand. And it takes a lot of work, and every day we're like, but we can go to the store and buy just store-bought tortillas, and people might not notice, like, you don't have to make tortillas for 12 hours or 14 hours a week by yourself, but like, we can buy them. And then there's a side of me that is like, yeah, we can, but no, we can't, right? So being an entrepreneur, following a dream, and constantly asking yourself, like, is this the right decision? Are we gonna fail? Are we gonna make it through tomorrow? The bank account, like learning to be broke. Oh my God, it's just like, wow, okay, I am gonna be broke because we're trying to run a restaurant business not the way that it's been run forever. Let's break the mold. Let's just source everything locally. Let's just do whatever we want. And like, are we able to pay the bills, right? And that is just like the definition of success in my industry, paying the bills, making profit, growth. And at the same time, it's like, well, we're all learning, so we're gonna make mistakes. It's gonna cost money, and it's gonna cost stress, and it's gonna cost all your time and energy, but big picture, right? We think of the big picture.